everyday something which is other than your school book. Maybe it's a spiritual book, whether it's a knowledge book, general knowledge book, or you've come across a nice article to read, read. Even if it's one page of reading, get into a habit of reading.
In my free time, I like to read books, mainly children novels like these. I also love to read inspiring stories about some famous personalities of India like these. I also just love to code in Python and HTML. I also just love to create art pieces and crafts like these. And I listen to music and sing in my leisure time. Thank you.
Hello, I like maintaining a diary and traveling to places which are associated with cultural history. I like reading autobiographies and murder mysteries. I also like to play badminton, and world geography and Indian polity are my key interest areas. I also like to introduce myself to new interest areas such as public speaking and participating in MUNs. Thank you.
Hobbies are painting, dancing. I love to make new art like these. And these. In my free time, I usually read spiritual books and love reading poetry.
I love to draw, read, dance, and write. I can draw paintings like these. All these flags are hand drawn. Make Vincent van Gogh's paintings and also draw abstract art like these paintings. And this too.
I love to read books, mainly fictional, and being Harry Potter books my favorite. I have also been interested in reading non-fictional books over that time as Richest Man in Babylon or The Power of Subconscious Mind. I am a cricket enthusiast too.
My hobbies are dancing, listening to music, playing badminton, and also I love exploring new places and collecting information about them.
Very nice. All very talented. Talented children. I'm so happy to get introduced to you like this. Yes, Saina, carry on.
Yes. जय धारी माँ to all the children. हमारी audiences का स्वागत है. आइए जुड़िए. Join us. Bless our children. Encourage them. My dearest children, you used the word like in your video. Always keep doing what you like. Keep doing that. Never let go of it. Keep doing it. And we want to tell you as elders that we feel very blessed to be receiving so much of love from all of you. Now over to Mummy, and she's going to be talking to you about your unsung heroes. We show a clip about your unsung heroes, and then we'll do the question and answer. After that, the World NGO Day is on 27th February. Our children have made a little video on that. We will do a discussion also on that, and then we do our takeaways. So we see a clip on your unsung hero.
Thank you. Thank you that you prepared yourself for unsung heroes. You worked and researched. But I like the way you're all reading, you're in art and culture. I'm so happy. And the last one, Yukti. Yukti hasn't joined us, right? Yes, Yukti joined us. She's into dancing and playing. The only one who's playing in the group is you, Yukti. I want you all to add a game to your sports. You're all into reading, art, craft. I'm so happy about that. But I want to add a sports to your life. Try and add a sport to your life. Anand, Jhalak, Anna, I think it's important. because I've noticed that the boys and girls who play add a extra personality to their lives. Extra. You're somebody, you got more stamina in you when you play. You make more friends when you play. You're also looking at the fairness of the rules when you play, right? So it's much better. The network of playing is, and then it's a lifelong game. It also habit, because then when you grow up, fitness becomes your habit. Art and craft makes you sit and write, right? Do. But the art of sports takes you out. It takes you out in the field. If unless you're playing chess, unless you have an indoor game, you have billiards, you have table tennis is also indoor, chess is also indoor. But I'm at the moment talking about an outdoor game. Okay, try and add that. It will be so great, children. I love it. So, would you like to talk about your unsung hero a little? Jalak, would you like to start? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sure,
Name your
ma'am.
Jaipur school. Where is your Jaipur school?
Ma'am, I'm from MPS International, Jaipur.
Right. Good.
And earlier, I used to study in Birla Balika Vidyapeeth, where you once came.
Ah, that's nice. So you must be so small when I came.
Ma'am, I went to Vidyapeeth in 2017, and you came there in 2016. So I missed the opportunity, but now
Okay.
I got it.
Thank you, Jalak. Thank you so much for being so excited about. Now tell us about your unsung hero. Tell us, how did you search him?
So, although I am from Jaipur, Rajasthan, but my home state is West Bengal. So, my unsung heroine is Kalpana Datta. To give you an overview about what she did, she was a part. She took part in Chattogram Armory raid. It is now in Bangladesh. Erstwhile, it was known as Chattogram, but now it is known as Chittagam. So the thing was, young boys, they fought for their motherland. Like young boys, aged 12, 13, 14, they fought for their motherland. And their whole group was led by Master Suryada, Master Surya Sen. So the thing that inspires me about her is that whenever I say I want to do something, like I'm an aspiring politician, I want to join politics. So people like my hands are only meant to make chapatis, not to tap the tables of the parliament, and I want to prove them wrong. So every day, whenever I get up, the moment I get up, I see her face, and she gives me the power that yes, women can do. There is nowhere written that women cannot do. And also, she was just 21 years old, and there's this beautiful quote: if you think you're too small to make a revolution, try sleeping in a room with a mosquito. So with my revolutionary ideologies, I get up every day to change mindsets, to change misogynistic mindsets. And I researched about her through this. There is this beautiful movie, Kheliam Ji Janse, and also you can find a lot about her. There are beautiful articles written on the internet. So that's how I researched.
Bete, I'm very happy to hear you're already, as a 17-year-old, you're already interested in politics. Now, when you're interested in politics, then all the subjects to be, first of all, I want you to become a self reliant politics, which means you must have your income of your own, must do something which gives you your own income. You don't have to depend on party funds to live your life. So, because the more self-reliant you will be, the more decisive you could take decisions, be on your own, because you're not always going to be in power, but you'll also not always be out of power. Power will come and go, but you have to go on forever till you live. Now, for that, it's very important, Jalak, that you do a spectrum. I don't know what are your preferred subjects. What are your subjects?
Ma'am, political science, history, geography, English, information technology as my skill subject, and economics
Excellent.
as my optional subject.
Perfect. Now that basically means you will be moving into liberal arts. Associate yourself, test yourself a little, and link yourself with some NGO work, some cause. You are in Jaipur. There are so many rural causes, urban causes. You can link yourself with some cause. Then see where your heart is, because politics means always people. It's always field, the dust and the grime sometimes. So are you oriented? You must test yourself. How much time? Because you will be donating your time at the moment. You don't have money. You donate your time. And with your subjects are perfect. But a profession would mean maybe a teaching profession, professorship, lecturership, because then you can go and lecture if you are not. But an income of your own is important, unless you inherit family income. You inherit a family house, you have a house of your own, you have a security of your own. It's very important that you have something which is your own and living within your own means. So whatever party funds comes, go for party work, but you're not dependent on party funds. And work with the
Yes,
NGOs
ma'am.
wherever you can, okay? And read a lot about freedom movement, because that's a fact. And listen to the radio in the morning, 8 a.m. AIR and 8:30. It's about Amrit Mahotsav, where they talk about the life of a freedom fighter, and it's very good. It's very good to read.
Yes, ma'am. Surely I'll do it.
Yes. So you can go back to the AIR news. पुराने आपको मिल जाएंगे. So listen to those. If you're leading this life now, then it's a build up as a cadet. So at the moment, remain independent. Look at the ideologies as you study economics, etc., etc. Then you'll know which party, which group you want to join, or you want to be independent yet be cause driven. So you can link yourself with NGO causes of children education, healthcare, water, environment, women empowerment, whatever you want. So that is a preparation to be a politician, because electoral
Yes, ma'am.
politics, the electoral politics has both a trust factor and distrust factor. People don't trust them because they feel that they are only living on public money and not having a capability. But if you're fully educated, information technology, economics, history, political science are all very good subjects. But maybe do a law degree, maybe do a law degree and become a practicing lawyer, right? And once you have a practicing lawyer, you can always return to legal profession, and law is very good for politics. So I would suggest that this is the way you plan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your advices. I'll definitely follow them.
Good. You're most welcome. Choose a profession of your choice. So let's listen to Anand. Anand, your hero.
Hello, ma'am. My unsung hero belongs from the city I am, Bhopal. He is Professor Muhammad Barkatullah Bhopali. So he's my unsung hero because during the time of freedom struggle, there were many freedom fighters who were fighting for our motherland inside India. But it was very important at the same time to make the Indian community politically active and make the world responsive to the Indian freedom struggle which was taking place. So in doing this thing, there was a huge contribution of Professor Muhammad Barkatullah Bhopali. He conducted freedom related activities from America, Japan, and Kabul. And he went to several countries of the world to basically motivating the Indian communities because they were living in various parts of the globe that time. So he traveled and traveled. He gained, he seeked support from various world leaders that time, such as he met with Hitler, Lenin, etc. So this was all of his works. And later on, he founded the Rebellion Party 1873 in San Francisco, big contribution to that. And later on, he became the first Prime Minister of the Provincial Government of India, established in Kabul on December 1, 1875, with the leadership of Raja Maharana Pratap. And ma'am, the reason apart, he has given a lot to his nation, but at the same time, he was a learned scholar and a master of 7 languages. Here in Bhopal, we had the Bhopal University, which was rechristened as Barkatullah University in 1988. I've been there quite a few times, so that's why he's my unsung hero. Thank you.
How wonderful. How did you trace him? How did you identify him?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there's a MP Board SST book which I'm reading currently. So it has a chapter, Madhya Pradesh contribution in the freedom struggle. There we have a
Nice.
list of freedom fighters, and one of them is Professor Barkatullah.
So valuable books. NCRT
Yes.
book?
No, ma'am, it
Is
is
it
MP board book.
MP board book? Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. I'm so glad you did. I'm glad you read the chapter from assimilation of knowledge point of view. So
Yes, ma'am.
when
Thank
what do
you.
you want to grow up to be? She Jhalak says she'd like to be a politician, and let's see which profession she borrows, whether it's family profession or legal profession or education. All the world is open up for her. Even IT, to become an IT, she can have an IT company of her own. You know what? If you're in information technology, what about you, Anand?
Ma'am, my aim currently is to become a civil servant.
Oh, I see UPSC. So
Yes,
for
ma'am.
you, these books are very valuable. If you study properly the books carefully, don't give away your these board books.
Yes, ma'am.
These are your basic knowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your
Ma'am,
subject?
currently I'm in class 10, so all the subjects are mandatory for me.
So as you move up,
Ma'am, I'm going to take PCM for the time being,
uh,
study engineering. But one of my passions is to keep myself updated with the current geopolitics of the world, ma'am. I love reading international relations, relations of India with other countries.
yes, and you're good in public speaking, you said.
Yes, ma'am.
For that you have to read and then present, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you do public speaking? Do you do extempore or do you do reading? Do you do point wise? Do you research? How do you do?
Ma'am, I research for what I have to speak upon, and then uh, it's it is less of extempore, ma'am. I do the research work first, and then I speak.
And pick up your points to read.
Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
It's all good preparation for that. Public speaking, anyway, Jhalak is already a good speaker. So you have to be also good in communications.
Yes, ma'am.
You know? That's good. So UPSC is a good option, but you must have fallback. What's your fallback? So UPSC, you make it fine, but otherwise, engineering.
Yes, ma'am. To work in MNC or MNC.
Ah, okay, good. So that's a great profession too. So good luck to you. Now let us go to Ahana. Ahana is my grandchild's name also. Ahana. Lovely. Okay. Anna, what's by the way, Anna, what your school is?
Ma'am, currently it is Gandhi Vidya Niketan Bhopal. During the pandemic time, I shifted from DPS Bhopal to this school.
Acha. Any
Yes, ma'am.
reason to shift?
Ma'am, it is actually dummy school, which the earlier one did not provide the facility for. That's why I shifted to this school.
Okay, so you chose a better school according to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
For the
good.
IT preparation, basically.
Okay, that's a good. Oh, that's a reason. Oh, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Ahana, Hapur, where is your school? Hapur, in Hapur?
Yes, ma'am. I study in Delhi Public School, Hapur. It's in Hapur itself.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Ahana, so who is your unsung hero?
So, ma'am, my unsung hero is Madhusudan Dayal. He was a freedom fighter, journalist, and a philanthropist, and was popularly known as Sampadak Ji. In his early years, he was inspired by Gandhi Ji, and later on, too, till his death, he only wore khadi even in winters. So he was a very prominent and famous journalist whose articles were read and liked by general public, especially the youth. His newspaper was the only newspaper that provided news related to the freedom struggle in Hapur and nearby regions. Dandi March started on 12 March 1913 and all the prominent leaders including Gandhiji were put in jail. In protest to this arrest, there was a strike in Hapur. Dayalji, who was a student of junior high school at that time and was only 9 years old, organized a strike along with two of his associates and took out a procession that was led by him in his school along with his classmates. So the
Wow.
British administration saw this as a bell of the future and he, along with his classmates, was suspended from the school and put in jail for 2 weeks. His father then educated him in a school in Meerut to receive formal education. But there too similar incidents happened, due to which he was permanently suspended from receiving any kind of formal education from any institute in British India. Yet in his future years, he was master of 5 languages including English, Hindi, Sanskrit, Urdu, and French. He was a close ally of Subhash Chandra Bose and was among the very few people who knew about his plan of escaping India. Many unofficial meetings took place in his press where prominent leaders like Subhash Chandra Bose, Nehruji, and Gandhiji met and planned about the future movements. He was also a key player in planning the execution of the Quit India movement in the northern region. From his life story, I learned that you can take a stand for your country at any age. Your age does not matter, only your will does. Also, we shall not only remember the contributions of those who were fighting on the front, there were thousands more who were fighting at the back and supporting. Thank you.
How did you search him? 9 year old.
Ma'am, actually, he belonged to my city only, so I asked some information from my mother, and rest I got from my grandparents.
Oh, lovely. So this is not from the books. This is from institutional memory of your grandparents and your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice. And see, because when I listen to the morning radio every day, 8 to 8:30 Hindi, 8:30 to 9, and it's all about unsung heroes. And they give you these, it's a very well programmed stories. And if you, at that time, you must be having school time at that time. But the day you don't have, if you listen to this, but you can always go to the, but they repeat it in the evening. They repeat the program I've noticed in the evening, which is very useful for you. And then they do a quiz every Monday, Tuesday. They give a quiz about the unsung hero, and then what they do is they get the answers on the email, and then they choose a lucky winner, and then they announce the name of the lucky winner who has given the right answer. So it's a very good program. It will keep you inspired the way you are, because you are already getting inspired by looking for unsung heroes. So you'll get many more. But what I've noticed by my listening to every morning is how widespread our freedom movement struggle was. Much before Gandhiji and Sardar Patel and Subhash Chandra Bose came, much before, these 9 year olds, the 10 year olds, the 12 year olds, the 14 year olds, girls and boys were all involved in the freedom movement. And some were being hung. Look how a 9 year old is being jailed. You don't jail children. And I noticed that that shows the kind of the kind of ferociousness with which the British were dealing with our. They were hanging people. They were flogging them. They were I think they were torturing them. They were lathi charging them. They were arresting them, hanging them even in the open streets. So I noticed that much before the main leadership came, these individual, and it was all over the country. So when you do this radio program, you realize how youngsters have played a very major. That's why they call the unsung heroes. That's why the unsung heroes. See, your 9 year old journalist is not in your books, but you have found him out. Ahana. So what do you want to do when you grow up?
Ma'am, actually, I want to become a scientist and an innovator, and I also want to become an entrepreneur and guide youngsters through their careers.
Wonderful. So you got science subjects?
Right now, ma'am, I'm in ninth, so all the subjects are mandatory for me.
So you must proceed with STEM then, if you want to be a
Yes,
scientist. So
yes,
STEM
ma'am.
is important for you, and to be a scientist. We need more women, girl scientists. So go ahead. You've got a great
Thank you,
role
ma'am.
there. Yeah, go good,
Thank you,
great
ma'am.
role. So one of them wants to be a scientist, another wants to be a politician, the one Anand wants to be in the UPSC. See how versatile you all are. But for scientists, we need more and more women. For that, you need a lot of knowledge, liking for science and mathematics, etc. Go ahead. And what's the name of your school?
I'm Delhi Public School, Hapur.
You said that. So DPS is deep.
Yes.
This is the old school. Is it been, or it's a new start?
Ma'am, it was established in 2004. Uh, the oldest school is in Ghaziabad. It's like near Ghaziabad, not in Ghaziabad.
Another branch.
Yes, ma'am, it's the oldest branch of Delhi Public School.
And is it still online education, or still have you opened the school?
Ma'am, right now our final exams are going on, so we are giving it offline.
Offline. It's still
Yes,
offline. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good. Well done. Continue to be the scientist then. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Read a lot about science, study science, read science, research science. The more you study now, the better. Like
Yes,
I
yes,
told Jhalak to study more of going for a profession which will make us self-reliant. I would say research science, study scientists, the Nobel laureates. Sky's the limit. The more you study them, the more it will inspire you to be the scientist.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a
Very,
lot.
very nice. Okay, Yukti, your turn. Noida, Greater Noida.
Ma'am, my unsung heroine is Durgavati Devi. She was born on 7th October 1907, and she is also referred as the Agni of India because of her fearless nature. She has helped Bhagat Singh to escape from Britishes when Bhagat Singh has killed John Saunders in 1928. And she has also met many Bengali revolutionaries, and she has also helped them. And the biggest thing is this, that she has sold her ornaments of 3,000 rupees to help Bhagat Singh to escape from Britishes. And that's indeed, because at that time 3,000 values a lot, but her dignity was to make India a free India, to make her country free. And that's what inspires more about her. And
Wonderful.
she died. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, carry on. Carry on, Yukti. Your camera's gone turned around. Correct your camera, Yukti. Oh, Yukti's having internet issues. Yukti's having internet issues. Can your other girls and boys see it? She's got the internet issue. Can you,
Not visible, ma'am.
huh? She's not
Not
visible?
visible, ma'am.
Yeah, I think she's had an
Yukti,
internet issue. Yukti's
she
got
has
internet issue. Yeah.
We'll get her
Okay.
to join again.
Get her to join again. Maybe we can do that. Okay. All right. So we'll carry on with it. So Saina, what do you think about so far what the children have said?
We're going to do the question answers right now, but
Okay, we'll do the question answer.
what I sense out of all that you've said,
Yeah.
UPSC, MNC, politician, NGO, scientist, innovator.
Yeah. Yukti's back.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Yes.
can hear
Go
you.
ahead.
Carry on,
Yeah,
Yukti.
go ahead.
So Yukti, what did you want to do? What's the name of your school in Greater Noida?
Ma'am, I'm in St. Joseph's School.
St. Joseph's. And
Yes,
what
ma'am.
are your subjects?
Ma'am, currently I'm in 9th standard.
Good. So what are you looking forward to be when you grow up?
Ma'am, I want to be an army doctor.
Wow, doctor
Yes,
and
ma'am.
army doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wonderful. You
Ma'am,
must,
both professions are novel, and I want to be both, as a doctor also and in army also.
very good. I'm so happy. So go and join a Sonic school.
Ma'am, but it is not available for my age category because now I am 14 years. For
Acha.
girls, it is not available.
Uh-huh. Okay, prepare accordingly now.
Yes,
Focus your
ma'am.
subjects accordingly, and you will be. If you
Thank
decide
you,
at
ma'am.
this age, then you're bound to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Children, boys and girls who decide what they want to be and start having a dream and living it at the age of 13, 14, they become. Remember that. They become. Why? Because your whole energy and time goes into that. And your friends also say, ये तो आर्मी डॉक्टर बनेगी तो फालतू बात नहीं करती तो you time नहीं वेस्ट करती ये सब कुछ गलत बात नहीं करती इसे automatically friends will say ये तो बनेगी. So you should start telling everybody मुझे तो आर्मी डॉक्टर बनना है मुझे तो आर्मी डॉक्टर बनना है मम्मी डैडी को भी बोल दो आर्मी डॉक्टर बनना है तो सब कुछ you see what will happen, nature will conspire to make you one.
I have told my parents also, and they supports me a lot.
Once you tell your parents what you want to be, parents will start supporting you. Anybody in the army?
So, ma'am, no one is in the army. I'll be the first to be in army.
Saina, would you like to send her our army doctor's Batcheet program? Remember we had the army doctor?
Yes, we will connect you with Padmanti. Yes.
We had in the Batcheet program, Padma, she's the first major general, wasn't she? Saina?
Yes, ma'am, I have researched about her.
She did a Batcheet program for us and brilliant. Shakira or Saina will forward you her Batcheet program of the internet. I think maybe you could search her on Batcheet program, which we do on the demonstrative learning portal, and read about her.
Okay, ma'am, I'll surely join.
And maybe you can make her your mentor and take guidance from her.
Okay, ma'am. I'll surely
Yeah.
do.
When we have mentors, why not? We all need mentors sometimes, and they will guide you how to go about it, what it means to be an army doctor. Okay. Now let's go to the questions you're all posed to me. Let me begin with Jalak. Jalak, what's your question?
Now my question is that it seldom happens that in that our education system kills our nationalism, like while being a part of this rat race and running after no, running after marks and not knowledge. Like for instance, people care about my board percentage rather than what kind of knowledge do I have or have about our history. So, ma'am, how to stay courageous throughout our journey of being a young nationalist? That's what my question is.
Look, when you say, I want to be joining politics, there'll be people who'll say, oh, अरे, तो उसमें तो क्या होगा, पढ़ाई हो जाएगा. Everybody will have a view on it. Like I had a view. I had a view to say, I immediately supported you, and I asked, tried to make you think what it ought to be. Everybody will have a view. There will be another view saying, अरे पॉलिटिक्स में क्या पढ़ा है, उसमें तो कोई है ही नहीं, अपोजिशन भी नहीं, औहदा भी नहीं, कमाओगी कैसे, बड़े सारे लोग हैं, बड़ी प्रॉब्लम्स है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. Everybody will have a view. Listen to everybody, but do what you want to do. Isn't it? Everybody will
Yes,
have
ma'am.
a view. But if you are convinced why you want to be, how you want to be, and the purpose. What's your purpose of being in politics? Is it to be a chief minister? Is it to be a minister? Is it to be an MLA? No. If the purpose is not position, but service, then you will grow differently, right? But if your purpose is somehow, I want the position, I want to be a powerful, and then people add, I want to be in the media every day, I want to have television, then it's different. Then your whole strategy changes. I think you need to know very clearly what is the purpose of you choosing to be in politics. And then you understand politics. And then you see that you be careful in what you're selecting. So, therefore, it's very, very important that you choose a profession but know the challenges of the profession. Like I told Anand, he said, I want to be in the UPSC. I told him, what's your fallback? Because supposing we make it, I'm fine. But we don't make it, he has engineering as a fallback. There's a fallback. You must have a fallback in law profession or professorship or IT or a business. See, fallback. So not having all eggs in one basket. There's a fallback. So even for you, politician, you will have to be clear on the purpose and then continue to listen to everybody, but stay on course and don't get deviated. But listen, maybe somebody has a good idea for you, follow that, but stay on course. Okay. So Indian nationalism, it's everybody's is not good. So you said feeling of being killed by this education system. No, it's not being killed. It's not being killed. I agree that in a way it's not being encouraged. It's not being fanned. Supposing you had more of these books of the Indian history, the Indian knowledge systems, this is how India's oldest civilization. That is not a part of your course, which is being corrected by national education policy now. Earlier, it wasn't. So it is only what you inculcate now. But it is not education system which is making you nationalists. It's you, your family, or your own sanskar. So if you have it, you are on course, stick to it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the way to do it. Don't worry, listen to everybody, but choose your own. Like when I was joining the IPS, पुलिस में क्या करेगी, वहां क्या करेगी, वो क्या, I said, मुझे पता मैंने क्या करना, but I want to be there. I stuck to it. I stuck to it. When I became IG prison, जेल में क्या करने जाएगी, जेल में तो कुछ नहीं होते, से बदमाश सारे होंगे, तू क्या करेगी, तो ऐसे मैं जाके पता मुझे क्या करना. So I was very clear. I heard, but I let it. But I understood. I was not criticizing others. कि ये क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Everybody comes from their own backgrounds. We don't have to worry about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Your teacher will tell you, your mama, your relative, your brother, your friend, everybody will have a view. but you be convinced why you want something. All right, friend. Anand, your question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I believe that equity is more important than equality. So, ma'am, I wanted to ask you, in your diverse career, ma'am, when did you feel, what instances were there when you felt so about gender disparities? And what can be done to guarantee not only equality but equity to women in our democracy at all times?
Equity, my son, is a very good question. Your question is very good. Equity is basically access to opportunities equally, right? Equality is free school for all, but there are certain opportunities which come along with some extra opportunities. That to me is equity. It's access to more, is access to more. So equity would be, I agree, but equality is important, but equity actually takes you forward. First of all, what's in your mind? How do you define equity?
Ma'am, for example, that women today in the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, we had the highest percentage of women candidates in the in Lok Sabha, ma'am. But I don't think 50% is important for like the hypothetical thinking, ma'am. I don't think 50% is important for women to be equal in the assembly elections, ma'am, because they were subjected to being less than inferior for a long period of time. So maybe more than 50% should be given for women. That is what equity is. That is giving someone something that he or she needs. So that's what my perspective is.
That is the reason you have reservations still. That is why you have 25% or almost 49% reservations still. That's equity, isn't it?
Yes,
Isn't
ma'am.
it? Opportunities. That's why you have reservations for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, backward classes, OBCs. It's all equity. It's to compensate for the past loss.
Yes, ma'am.
See, but Supreme Court does not allow you to cross for 50%. It does not, because there are other general candidates who are equally wanting it. So it's a lot of space, but that's why the Supreme Court is not allowed. Somebody is allowed, said 60% for locals. It's being agitated legally, like a particular state said 60% reservation of seats only for the locals. It was struck down by the High Court. It went up. Now it's matters before the Supreme Court. So when you do reservations of these for equity, so far Supreme Court has not allowed to cross. But when it comes to equity, in my mind, it's not just equality of opportunity, it is opportunities.
Yes, ma'am.
Opportunities. Now, opportunities to girls are not the same as opportunities to girls in the urban areas and rural areas. Rural areas are weak in opportunities for girls. Urban areas are abundance of opportunities for girls. Now, so that access, to me, equity is also access. So now backward areas don't have equal access. Their schools will be far away, university will be far away, hostel facility may not be available, right? Power facility for IT learning will not be easily available. Teachers best quality may not be available, maybe. So I think it's a matter of equity or opportunities, not just quality, equality, but quality.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you look at quality, quality sometimes is easily not available in certain rural areas. Also have had very great teachers. It's not that. No, it depends on the situation. So I think you need both. You need equal opportunity. You also need equal access to opportunities. That means we need to create more opportunities in all parts of India so that everybody has equal access to bloom. So you should believe both quality and quantity.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, Anand. Now let us see what Ahana says. Ahana, what is your question?
Ma'am, my question is that in our country there are effective laws and that
Hmm.
are also implemented. We have fast track courts, yet The final judgments of most of the cases are not passed for many years. What, according to you, are the problems that causes this, and what are the changes needed at different levels of the system?
This is our weakest area of criminal justice system. This is truly the weakest. Some judgments are coming after 30 years because of the overcrowding in the courts. Overcrowding of cases in the courts. The number of courts which we need, we don't have. The percentage of judges which we need, we don't have. The speed at which we need to proceed with certain crisis cases, we don't have. Access to courts also is a matter of a big challenge. For instance, I was working in Pondicherry as lieutenant governor, as you know, and there's no high court in Puducherry. So anybody who wanted access to high court had to drive 5 hours to Chennai and hire an expensive lawyer there, stay back in Chennai, and then fight and seek justice, right? How many times will a simple man go? Access to high court from Puducherry is 5 hours away and very expensive. So, with the result that many matters were just not brought to the court of the Madras High Court, many very essential. Had there been a bench, even a bench of the High Court, single bench of the High Court in Puducherry, many things would have got sorted out much earlier on service matters, on environment matters, and many matters of law. But they could not because there was no High Court there. Whereas Madurai has a single judge bench in Tamil Nadu, and it is getting a much more faster justice because single bench goes there and sorts out the matter on site. So it is, but and this is a matter of great debate. Why is the judiciary so slow so far? As I told you, infrastructural issues. Secondly, our defense system is not a French system. We have to prove till proven guilty. So therefore, that process, the rights of the accused are immense. He's not guilty till proven guilty or convicted. And there's appeal after an appeal, and there's no limit to the appeal. There's an appeal, and then there's another appeal, and then there's a review appeal. Then it further can go back as an appeal to the President of India. So we have layers of appeal, so it can be dragged on. Third is very expensive law. The lawyers are very expensive. And therefore, and number two, some lawyers move the enable, maybe, but it sometimes suits certain certain persons to delay the case. So delay the case can be by the petitioner or by the accused and using all kinds of tactics to delay the matters. Take tariq par tariq par tariq. Sometimes it frustrates the person because usko bhi vakil karna, usko bhi vakil karna. तो वो फाइनली कहता छोड़ो मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है सो मैं केस को नहीं करता सो इट इज सो मेनी लेयर्स दिस इज अ judicial reforms is a very important matter at the moment before the country, but it's not getting the kind of attention it requires. And then it's also we have more registration of cases than we can truly prosecute. You see, so we have FIR over an FIR, but do you know FIR, every FIR means it matter goes to court. And then we don't have that many other systems, which is called intermediary, where you can, now mediation cells have come. So now mediation cells have come where you can mediate certain matter. It's only now. And then there's also called where the two parties can settle the issues. These are all recent developments where two parties called, I'm forgetting the name of that concept, where two parties can, other than certain crimes, you can settle the matter, civil and so through mediations and others. So there's a word in that I'm forgetting right now, but those are recent developments. So there is big, strong case for judicial reforms in this country, which has not happened yet. I'm sure someday it will happen. But all have to play a role in judicial reforms, whether it's the judges and whether it's the bar councils. And but there's been not the kind of speed and attention judicial reforms need. However, judiciary still remains as the most trusted so far, trusted institution of the government, of the country. Still, it's still considered that to that they, though it's not always the way it is, as it is, it proves of otherwise sometimes, but so far that's a destination where you do believe that they are non-political, they're apolitical, they will fairly understand the law, etc. So it's expensive judiciary or judgment getting or legal justice, let's say that, is exceedingly expensive, and so far it's truly delayed. Certain things come very instant, like a stay order comes sometimes very quickly. It all varies from case to case. So, Hannah, are you planning to be in the law profession or judicial profession? Oh, but you want to
Uh,
be a scientist?
Ma'am, actually, I want to be a scientist, but I do want to contribute towards this field, like the judicial and the lawmaking process. So right now, not really sure, like the scientist along with an entrepreneur and like member of parliament or something. I'm not really sure yet.
Okay, but yeah, but if you want to be, then take up the judicial examination. Anand wants to take UPSC. You can take judicial examination, be a judge. For that, it's good to go do a law degree and then sit for the judicial examination. Then it is not science, but liberal arts maybe. But it's a equally exciting profession to be a judge. It's very exciting. Okay, Yukti, your turn.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, in your childhood, what was your daily schedule? How you used to manage your time?
Or time managed me. When I was growing up, it was time managing me. Time is managing me even now. I start my work from the time I wake up till I sleep. There's so much to do, so much to achieve every day, so much to learn, gain, and practice. So even when I was in the childhood, my childhood was very simple. I used to, because I was a tennis player, from the age of 9, I was playing, had started to learn to play tennis. I went to a coaching school. So from school, we were going straight to the coaching tennis center. So school and my house was the other end, and the coaching center was midway. So we would get dropped midway, go to the coaching center, play tennis, play tennis. My mother would be there with my change and the tennis kit and my juice and my milk and my fruits. Mummy would come from home. I would go from school, get dropped. So from school straight to tennis court. From tennis court till sunset, we could play. Now, during the tennis court, when there were not many courts there, I had to wait for my turn. So while waiting for my turn, I was doing my homework. So I never wasted my time even during waiting for the turn because I had to do homework. And then go back home, sometimes help mummy in housework, maybe, sometimes do, sometimes may not, dependent on the situation. So if mummy needs little help, I and my younger sister would help her. Otherwise, we'll get back to our homework and our studies and then eat. And dog tired, I would sleep because I have to get up again early, go for jogging, practicing stamina running. So there was only one thing in my life. It was school to tennis to home and then sleep like a log because I was dog tired, playing so much of tennis, exercising after the tennis, right? So I think it was a great, very, very well spent. There was no televisions, no phones, no Facebooks, no Instagrams, no WhatsApp notifications. So there was no distraction. There was only the radio. We used to listen to the radio news, All India Radio News or the BBC Radio News. So we used to listen to the radio news for my knowledge. I was very fond of listening to the news and the radio. So it was sports, it was academics, and being home, being with everybody at home and helping my mummy when she wanted, and then reading. I used to love reading and doing my homework. I loved my books. So I used to enjoy reading books, not just examination, but reading what the books say. I think that was my childhood. And then from the age of 14, I started to play competitive tennis to travel across the country. So then I used to travel with books because I had to take an examination. So I traveled with my books, with clothes and books, and study in the train third class compartment. We sometimes didn't have a reservation, and we used to study while traveling and then get off, play, and then return again. So, and the train journeys were long those days. But it was studying, traveling, playing, learning, home, books, nothing else. See, time managed me or I managed the time. That's how it was. And you know what? It can still be like this with you girls and boys. It can still be. If you this is why at the age of 20, 21, I became 16, I became a national champion. 21, I was an Asian tennis champion. And by the time I was 21 and a half, I was already into the Indian Police Service. Why? Because I was good in academics and I had great tennis and I had a great, strong thinking clarity. So when the interview came, I did very well in the interview because it was a very all rounder. I was listening, I was reading papers, I was doing my book. See, it was like an all rounder. And at the age of 22, I was in the Indian Police Service, earning a great salary. I had a home of my own, I had a transport of my own, and I did my parents proud. So early, if you do this kind of foundational preparation, nature works for you. But I invested so much of energy in your age. In your age, there were no holidays I used to do. It was, but a lot of fun at home. We were sisters, we fought, we loved, we had fun with parents. We had a club membership. So we used to have fun, but it was fun, family, food, books, sports, knowledge, like that. Yukti?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, Saina, your turn. Last 5 minutes. Would you like to do a wind up?
No,
Saina's been quietly listening.
we have a little video on the NGO day,
Okay.
and then they can share their thoughts on what an NGO means to them. Then I'll do a sum up. We have
Which
a
video
little
has got 5 minutes or six? How long is the video?
It's a minute or so, but it's we've got 8 minutes. We've got
Okay,
about
done.
8 minutes.
Done,
Yes.
done. Sorry, my
We've got about
clock is a little ahead of time.
yes,
Okay,
we've
go
got
ahead.
about 8 minutes. We see you.
Thank you so much. Let's do that. Let's look a video at the NGO. It's an NGO day, right?
NGOs bridge the gap between the government policies and the general public. They make sure that those who are eligible and need a government scheme are able to utilize it. Thus, they help in the development of a nation like India, where literacy rates are low and poverty rates are high. This is a painting that I have made on the National NGO Day.
Functions of NGO have had a big hand in developing the socio-economic condition of our country. But due to its vast democracy, there are still many issues and millions of people who don't have access to their rights. The NGOs are working in the sectors like social justice, socio-economic conditions, improving the literacy rate and eradication of poverty, and they have had a great impact.
NGOs are non-governmental organizations that are involved in carrying out a wide range of activities that help the people who are underprivileged. They work to serve people, they work to promote education, to conserve wildlife, to protect our environment. The member of the NGOs work with objective of charitable motive only. There is no self-interest involved. We all should appreciate these heroes who are doing amazing work to serve and to help these poor.
My favorite NGO is CRY, also known as Child Rights and Youth. It was started by Ripon Kapoor, and it has worked with 99 grassroots projects across 19 states. Happy NGO Day!
NGOs play an important role in helping out the common man with their rightful demands and also try to help needy people in every way possible. The first and foremost, the NGOs are responsible for disseminating education among the people at large and making them aware of their rights.
Nice. You all did very well. You were also expressive. Anand, you walked and talked, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you did it very well, but very beautifully done. I loved it all. Thank you so much. Saina, would you like to share this little clip? I like to put it in my social media handles. It's very nice. Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Now that's all yours to do a sum up.
Yes, yes. We'll do a sum up. The children have shared what an NGO means to them. Children, I think the professions you're choosing as well as an NGO, what is the objective? Is to respect human life. You must understand human life is dignity. When you give back, when you serve, you ought to be doing it. You ought to be doing it. So, respect for human life, giving dignity to human life, is what all professions should stand for. All of them. All of them. Anant was talking about a few concepts. I think it's about restoring balance. Wherever you see an imbalance, you restore balance. That is what I think all words mean. Restoring balance and being fair, being just. And then you go out there and prove yourself based on merit. But first, you restore the balance. The human will is a very powerful force. You must ask yourself every day, what is your intention towards your day or life? Where is your own personal will? In which direction is it leading you to? And for professions, for careers, again, the will to serve, the will to give justice, the will to do the right thing. If it can be driven by that, we'll see a fair world. Human life also has many aspects to it. So being sensitive to the needs and wants of one and all is also another very important human trait. So keep all this in mind and make your careers.
Thank you, Saina. Thank you so much, Saina. With you all children, we'll stay connected. We missed two students who could not make it to the because of the internet connection. But you four got more time. We could have spare more time for connecting more with you. So Jalak, Anand, Ahana, and Yukti, lovely. We'll stay connected. As you know, you are part of the uh, book reading group 82nd, your 82nd group. You will stay connected and you'll be part of the alumni. The team will continue to connect with you. Okay? Wish you all well. Lots of regards and best wishes to your family and parents. All the best. We will stay connected. Thank you.
Take care all of you. Jai Dharima. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
हमारी ऑडियंसेस का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जुड़ने के लिए. We meet you next week with another session of our book reading. Children,
Thank you,
take
sir.
care. Take care. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. खुश रहो. खुश रहो. जय धारी.